3 games, 5 points. 1 win, 2 draws, 3 goals scored, and of course, 2 clean sheets. Come on, that is how the Super Falcons of Nigeria are cruising to the round of 16 of the FIFA Women's World Cup. And of course, you say that's how top teams do. And as 9-time African champions, they've shown class again. Hello and welcome. This is Sports Reel on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Bade Adeleye. As always, we're at the beautiful Moshood Abiola National Stadium here in Abuja, and that is Mansa. On the road today, we'll be talking about the Super Falcons of Nigeria, who got the job done on Monday by stealing qualification to the next round of the FIFA Women's World Cup. And of course, we'll also talk about the Tigers, who are chasing after a 4th consecutive African title at the 2023 FIBA Women's AfroBasket. We'll also talk about the ongoing Hockey Super League in Abuja and many more other interesting stories. So, you're welcome. All right, straight to business. Let's begin with the Super Falcons of Nigeria, who on Monday sealed qualification to the round of 16 of the FIFA Women's World Cup after a goalless draw with the Republic of Ireland in their last Group B encounter. And of course, with Australia making a missed meet of Canada 4-0 in the other group match. The Super Falcons finished second in Group B, and of course they've advanced to the next round where they will face the team that finishes top in Group D. And many already saying it could be England, but you know, the Super Falcons, they say they are ready for any team. And of course, on Monday, one of the stars of the game was Tony Payne. So let's quickly listen to what she has to say about Monday's match.
Well, obviously, we're all ecstatic. You know, our objective going into the game was, you know, to get a point so that we had an opportunity to qualify, and we did that today. So.
And you have been also impressive so far. 3 games, 3 outstanding performances from you. What a tournament you've had so far.
Oh, well, thank you. Obviously, I couldn't do it without my teammates. I'm playing with such wonderful and hardworking players, and you know, when we work for each other, we achieve our goals.
I feel excited. I know this game is going to be tough. We have our game plans. It's either we win or we draw, but there's nothing like losing in today's game, and we achieved that. I'm grateful to God. Like, God did it for us, and we did it ourselves. You know, we prepared for it, and now we got it.
Always a delight watching her. Let's now bring to you more highlights and behind-the-scenes moments of the Super Falcons at the FIFA Women's World Cup. It's time for today's episode of the MTN Super Falcons Show. Do have a good watch.
darkest ground. But gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground.
I think I'm going to give kudos to my teammates. Everyone went out there to play their hearts out. No one knows what this team is made of. We only have to come to the field and show ourselves and show the kind of hearts we have. Like I said earlier, this team has a lot to offer, and everyone in the world has seen that today.
We tried to, in the amount of time we've had the team, we tried to organize them collectively as a team in the way we want to defend. And I've said that since the first press conference we arrived. I know the Nigerian fans want to see player and attacking football all the time. And we love that quality of our players. I think we saw that in some of the individual goals we scored tonight. But at this level, when you're playing this kind of competition, you have to be collectively defensively. Even though they were on us a lot, much like Canada was.
With unmatched coverage across Nigeria, MTN Broadband gives you reliable internet service to do whatever you want everywhere. MTN Broadband, data that's got you covered.
When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky.
I would feel great. It's a great feeling. It's a dream come true for her. This is, she was 4 years when she started dreaming this dream, and it became reality for her to reach 6. So I'm very, very happy for her. Excitement. We're excited, and we pray for God to give you guys more strength and more energy to push on further.
coverage across Nigeria. MTN Broadband gives you reliable internet service to do whatever you want everywhere. MTN Broadband. Data that's got you covered.
Welcome back. You're still watching Sports Reel on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. Now, let's talk more football. As Legend FA are still very much in jubilant mood after becoming the champions of the maiden edition of the Bade Adeleye Benjamin Selani Unity Football Tournament in Abuja. And of course, they did that by overcoming Maracana FC in the final match at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. Olale Kilajolu will tell us about that.
Legend FA of Amak emerged champions after beating Maracana FC from Kwali Area Council of FCT 2-1 to lift the coveted trophy.
From the beginning of the end and to the end of the game, we have planned how to work and how to have this victory today.
I have to tell them our slogan, that we must not lose.
Organizers of the ABL tournament assured of continuity after the success of the maiden edition, as there are also plans to involve other sports in subsequent editions.
It's here to stay. It's already proven that even without the biggest sponsors, the biggest partners or investors, if we could get it delivered at this level, then how much more?
48 teams across the 6 area councils of the Federal Capital Territory took part in the Unity Tournament. In Abuja, Olale Kilajolu, NTA Sports.
Many thanks, Olale. And now let's move away from the football pitch and straight to the basketball court. And this time we're going to Rwanda as Nigeria's D Tigers are through to the quarterfinals of the ongoing FIBA Africa Women's AfroBasket. And of course, they are very much on course for a 4th African title consecutive. And of course, that they achieved after overcoming Egypt in their last group match on Sunday. They will now be facing either Mozambique or Cote d'Ivoire in the next round.
It's any time between a tough game, and especially in an AfroBasket tournament.
For entry pass, Nicole and Abassi. That was crucial. I mean, they were missing a lot of shots they could have made. Okoro for 3.
It's always a delight watching those Nigerian ladies. Come on. Ami Okonko, the masked lady, is on fire and looks very much unstoppable now. We're wishing the D Tigers all the best in Rwanda. Now, let's move away from basketball and talk hockey, as the Nigeria Hockey Super League is very much ongoing at the Package B of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. And in case you've not been seeing those interesting games after it started on Saturday, today is another day for you to go to the Package B of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium to see the beautiful game of hockey. And of course, with hostilities still very much ongoing there, let's now have on the show today, joining us live from his base in Abuja, no other person than the president of the Nigeria Hockey Federation, Simon Nkom. Welcome to Sports Reel this Tuesday, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
All right, beautiful. It's always a pleasure to have you. Now, the Hockey Super League is very much alive. As you know, we are in match day 4 already. Interesting games we've seen so far. Tell us, how has it been?
Like I mentioned a couple of days ago during my interview just before the league, I told you we had registered 13 male teams and then 9 female teams. And I had mentioned to you that you are going to have real excitements and there will be a lot of discoveries. I can tell you that that was just an understatement. What I'm actually seeing happening now is something else because of some of them with their experiences from African and international competitions and discoveries, young talents, and then all these things you can hardly be able to now have a clear winner. It's more or less like a very, very balanced experience, grassroots team, young talents coming out. And I can tell you that there's going to be more excitements throughout this tournament.
Quite beautiful, Mr. President, and of course we've been on ground at the Package B of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium since Saturday, and I must confirm, you know, it's been really, really interesting watching all those matches. Now, we do know that the Nigeria Hockey Federation is coming up with a lot of programs, and of course you've qualified for the World Cup already. So tell us about the upcoming programs from the Hockey Federation of Nigeria.
You know, we have a calendar from the affiliated with African Hockey Federation and then the International Hockey Federation. And most of these programs have schedules. And we've had reasons most recently to be able to now qualify for the World Cup Fives in Oman in January. So you have these programs, and we usually sit as a board to be able to now look at all programs for the year, come up with a schedule, and then be able to now liaise with our stakeholders, and particularly making sure that our own national championships are equally tuned towards preparations, because I can tell you that from our last Cup of Nations in Africa, we got bronze for the male team for the first time in the history of Nigeria. And now in Africa, the team to beat is actually Nigeria. We work towards making sure that we have exposure, because that is what it all takes. And that is why when this board was inaugurated, we were able to now actually look at and come out and say, look, we know where we are supposed to be in Africa. We are moving, and our ranking is improving. And as such, we'll continue to make sure that we get our rightful position with support from all stakeholders. Support could come in so many ways. It might be funding, it might be adverts in terms of exposure, exposing the team. We are happy today that we have NTA, and it's always giving us support in terms of making sure that the whole world knows, and Nigeria particularly knows, that hockey exists. Otherwise, if you don't do this, people will say, do they play hockey in Nigeria? You know? So I believe that this is a medium for people to sponsor sports, sponsor the youths, and then sponsor hockey.
Interesting, quite interesting, Mr. President. I must confess, it's been beautiful talking to you on Sports Road this morning. Thank you for joining us, and of course, we're wishing you all the best as you bid to take hockey in Nigeria to the next level. Thank you for joining us on Sports Road.
Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day. Congrats.
Right, I've been speaking with the president of the Nigeria Hockey Federation, Simon Nkom, talking about the ongoing Super League in Abuja and some other interesting programs lined up by the Federation. What an interesting conversation with him. All right, let's move away from the bad game and straight, and let's talk water game, this time canoeing, as Nigeria has been given the nod to host the Canoe Olympic qualifying tournament in Abuja after success at the African Admiral Porbeni Boat Championship in Abuja. Ayodeji Makinde has details.
The first African Admiral Porbeni Boat Championship provided another opportunity for athletes to continue their quests for Paris Olympics Games qualification. Over 40 athletes from Ghana, Togo, Senegal, Sao Tome and Principe converged on the Jabi Boat Club Abuja to contest for honors in canoe and kayak events. While bookmakers favored Nigeria to have a clean sweep of the gold medals, Admilson Sousa of Sao Tome and Principe upsets the apple cart by edging Team Nigeria captain Moses Michael to the sea 1,000 meters men's gold. Nigeria went ahead to win the championship with 21 gold, 11 silver and 2 bronze medals, ahead of Sao Tome and Principe.
Before now, this sport is before North Africa and South Africa. We're just nowhere. Just like in this football was North Africa and South Africa. Today, we've gone into the lynch that in the middle of Africa, West African sub-region, we are forced to be reckoned with.
An Olympic training is not starting tomorrow, it's today. We even take some people train a year, preparing for a year for the Olympics. So we don't want them to just look at us and tell us to go back home, that they will get back to us.
Ranking members of Sports Politics and Administration lauded the performance of the athletes.
Sport is important for the development of the youth. It keeps the youth busy. It also keeps them fit at all times to be able to contribute to national development. And that is the main reason why I'm very impressed and happy that this particular sport has been maintained.
We have so many talented athletes in Nigeria, which we should not send any longer to Europe for competitions. And this competition proved that African organizers are able to organize canoe competitions on a very professional level.
Canoeing, they were in Tokyo 2020 during the last Olympic game, and I believe they will be in Paris again.
Team Nigeria, apart from finishing first, also won $3,000, while Sao Tome and Principe received $2,000 for placing second and $1,000 for the Senegalese contingent, who finished third. In Abuja, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
Many thanks, Ayodeji. Now, civil servants in Abuja and its environs converged on the training pitch of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium last Saturday for the July edition of the Walk and Jog exercise of the Federation of Public Service Games. Team NTA was equally well represented, and Francisca Bile will be telling us about that.
The Moshood Abiola National Stadium came alive again as civil servants in their numbers thronged the venue for the July edition of the Walk and Jog exercise of the Federation of Public Service Games. It was another time for the workers to sweat it out away from the comforts of their offices, and this month's exercise had a special attachment to it as it was used to commemorate the 2023 Civil Service Week. Deservedly, the head of the civil service of the Federation, Folashade Yemi Eson, was installed as the captain of the exercise, as participants, including staff of the Nigerian Television Authority, were taken through exercise drills, while they also tested their pace on the tracks. The exercise was also used to mark the 2023 World Day Against Human Trafficking, with the National Agency for Trafficking in Persons joining other agencies and parastatals on the pitch for a novelty football match.
All the sporting activities we had today is just to encourage civil servants to participate frequently in sporting activities, because a healthy mind must live in a healthy body.
This walking, jogging, the aerobic, all the activities here, they are for the healthy living of all the civil servants that are working 24/7.
Human traffickers also pry on the hopes and aspirations of young people to traffic them under the guise of sports, which is why we know it is important to share this message. Let people be aware, let parents also be aware, not just young people, that there are traffickers out there who are waiting to pry on young people.
Particularly as NTA workers, we work round the clock. So exercise will enable us to keep fit and to do our work well.
We are happy
the turnout was very impressive. We are also expecting that it's not just for this aerobic exercise. This aerobic exercise is preparatory to the annual public service games we are expecting. The annual public service games is what is popularly known as the Fepsga games. So we are expecting that what we have seen here today, with the promise of Office of Head of Civil Service of Federation, especially the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, we are going to have a colorful annual public service games today.
In the spirit of the Civil Service Week, participants who excelled in various sports got medals and trophies to show for it, just as teams that were outstanding in punctuality, attendance, behavior, and kits were rewarded. The next edition of the Fepsga Walk and Jog exercise comes up on Saturday, 26th August. In Abuja, Francisca Bile, NTA News.
Many thanks, Francisca, and that brings us to the end of Sports Reel this Tuesday. As always, I want to thank you for hanging out with us. Do not forget that you can always get more sports content on NT Sports 24. That's on Star Times, StarSat, and Free TV. And the daily news is at 11 in the morning and 6 in the evening. Until next time I'll be on the show, just like I always say, be yourself and please, always stay out of trouble. I'm Bade Adeleye, and I will see you next time.